everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another Color Wednesday video. Today I'm making this card using the Trick or Treat stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. I made a card with this particular stamp set a couple weeks ago, so I'll have a link up to that video up in the top corner. I also did want to mention that I made this card as part of a guest appearance on the Iron Craft video podcast show. I'm not sure what to call it. But it was a live event where I and a few other crafters answered some questions live. So I will have a link to that Iron Craft video in the other corner of the screen for you to check out right now. Or if you're at my blog, I'll have links so you can go watch it. So I started out by coloring the cat, which I will now call Manny because it looks like Manny. I colored Manny's cape, or his, I guess it is a cape, in some red colors. This is a new red combination for me, and I love it so much because it's a dark red. There's no pink tones involved. It's red to a dark maroon burgundy, almost black, and I think it just looks awesome, especially for Halloween type cards where you need that really deep red. I can imagine myself using the same red combination for Christmas cards, which are coming up soon. I'm not saying when they'll start, but the holiday card series is going to be starting within the next little bit. So I'm coloring the cat like Manny, and if you've been watching my videos for ever since I adopted Manny, so since what, 2010? If you've been watching my videos since 2010, you know exactly what Manny looks like. He's a black and white cat, and it's his right side of his face. So on the left, you're seeing here is black, and his face is kind of half black, half white. Such a pretty cat. So every single cat that I color, or nearly every cat that I color, they always look like Manny. So I've sort of perfected coloring black and white cats. So I colored in his ears, gave some pink ears, and now I'm taking some cool gray colors and just coloring his tummy, because even though he is a black and white cat, I need to add some shading to the white areas, because otherwise it just looks like I forgot to color a spot, like it needs to have a little bit of shading. So I'm just adding a little bit of that cool gray color. Now, I did want to mention that this whole image that I'm coloring here was heavily inspired by Sandy Allnock. She's an amazing Copic colorist, and she's also one of the teachers in the Copic class that I am team teaching over at onlinecardclasses.com right now. And she's colored this particular image a few times. She's also colored the dog from the stamp set, and it looks awesome every time she does. And she always includes like a really cool background. So I'm going to be coloring a background on this card today as well. His eyes were kind of getting lost in that dark mask, so I did end up doing a little bit of white gel pen and then some black over top to give him, pupils. So here's that background coloring I was talking about. I've sped this up quite a bit because it took a long time. I started with B95 and just put that color down all over. I just wanted to get that color all over it. Now I totally understand why Sandy says you need to get refills for your markers, because this takes a lot of ink. I wasn't expecting for it to take so much ink. My marker is still fine. There's still plenty in it because I've never used that color before, but I was putting in a lot of ink. So here's B97, I think it is, and I'm just adding a little bit more darkness right behind Manny. And then I'm going to take an even darker shade here in a minute and put that down as well. Taking that B95 and just trying to blend that out just a tiny bit. And then I'll go ahead and bring in that darkest shade. And the darkest shade is B99, I think. Hopefully I will see on the screen here in a minute. I unfortunately forgot to put the cap down on the screen here. So I'm just blending those out, trying to get it to look as nice as possible. And then I'm going to do something else that Sandy does. And she brings in a Copic colorless blender, and the colorless blender is a really bad name for what it is because it doesn't really blend your colors. It pushes the ink away from wherever you color with the colorless blender. So she does this thing where she adds little dots, and it looks like little particles of dust in the air or glitter or just really cool little elements in the air. she does that. So because I'm going to be taking that down from the top corner, I need to finish the ground that the cat is sitting on. So I'm going to use some warm gray colors before I get to the Colorless Blender. I'm just using a little bit of W5 and adding some W7. And then I'll go back to the W5, I think, before I move on. Yep, back to W5 and kind of blend that out a little bit. And then I'll take just a tiny bit of W9, put that really dark shade right underneath him. And I'll go back to W7 and then W5 just to blend that out. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in that Colorless Blender. And I'm kind of like drawing white dots or little spots for a little bit of interest on the back on this background. So I'm just dropping all those in, filling in some more areas. And I did realize that there was one particular area that was looking kind of weird. So I did color over and then re-put those Colorless Blender spots back on. So I trimmed down my colored piece and then I realized I wanted it to go all the way to the edge. I wasn't sure if I was going to be using all of it, but then I decided that I needed to. So just finishing off that coloring. And then I'm going to start putting the card together. So I've got some Basil Marshmallow cardstock here, and I'm scoring it at 5.5 or 4 1/4. I'm sorry. And this is going to be a top folding card. I also used the Halloween die from I think it's just the Halloween die set. It's the die set that coordinates with the stamp set. So I used the word happy, and I stamped that in some Versamark ink, coated that with some Hero Arts white embossing powder, and then heat set that until it was completely melted. Then I'm going to take that die cut and put some little tiny dots of adhesive on the back. This is Tombow Mono Multi Glue. Just putting some little tiny dots and then holding it with my tweezers and putting that down below the word happy to complete that greeting. I then decided that I wanted to add a few more elements to this scene. So I used the spider over on the right side, and then I took some bats. There are 2 sizes of bats in the stamp set, and I used both the large bat and the small bat and just filled in some bats. So you kind of notice that the line of the design goes from that bottom left corner all the way up to the top right corner. There's that movement going all the way up to that top corner. That's a really fun thing to do when you're doing kind of scenes like this. Leave like one corner empty and have the design lead up to one corner. It looks really cool that way. So I stamped that stripe stamp from the stamp set in some fog ink from Simon Says Stamp, mounted it on the card, and now I'm taking some clear Wink of Stella glitter brush pen and putting that over his cape and mask. And you'll be able to see that really cool shimmer. It doesn't show much in photographs, but when you're looking at it up close or in person, it looks really, really neat, especially on top of that dark red color. So that is the card for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you check out the Ironcraft interview and our little live show that we did. I'll have a link still up in the top corner. And thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys on Friday. Thanks for sticking around till the very end of the video. I have 3 more Copic card videos for you to check out, so you can click on any of those. And I did want to mention that I've been using a lot of Copic markers recently, probably because I'm gearing up for this Copic class. But if you are not a Copic fan, never fear. I will get back to some distress markers or some watercolors shortly. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That lets me know you care, and hit that subscribe button as well. You can visit my blog at kmornerdesign.com, and you can visit me on social media at Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys next time.